Hello viewers from wherever you're watching us from. You're watching QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station, and we're broadcasting from our studios here on Kairaba Avenue. My name is Aliu Sise, and it's now time for your weekly State of Affairs program where we discuss current issues. Well, tonight we are looking at the ongoing Operation Clear the Roads being spearheaded by officials of the National Roads Authority. Of course, physical planning and other stakeholders, accompanied by armed security men. And joining me tonight to discuss this and other issues as far as this operation is concerned, I have in the studio Mr. Bakari Mane, who is a road safety engineer at National Roads Authority. Mr. Mane, good to have you on the program.
Thank you so much, Aliu. My appreciation being here today from your management, and happy to be on this show today. Thank you so much.
That's Bakari Mane, a road safety engineer whose face is not familiar to anyone now who has been following these ongoing operations across the country, of course, as you say, most especially in the Greater Banjul area. And also in the studio, I have Modu Musa Sisaho, who is the acting public relations officer of the Gambia Police Force. Mr. Sisaho, good to have you on the State of Affairs program.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here once again on QTV, though in a different platform to discuss this very important state matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Acting Police PRO Modu Musa Sisaho. I will start with you, Mr. Mane. The operations has been going on since on the 19th of October. How is the operation going on?
Well, thanks once again, Alio. The operation is still moving slowly, but slowly, because we're getting results, and that's why that's the reason, and that's the most important thing. We're all out as a government to clear our road corridor. Our roadmap is to clear all obstructions, all forms of obstructions on the road, illegal structures, and encroachment on the road corridor. And that is not leaving the mechanic garages, derelict vehicles, and even the vehicles that are being sold on our road corridor. So basically, we're busy moving everything. Like you said, since October 19, we started at Sting Corner, and we went far using the Westfield Mandina Bar Road. We went up to Brikama, clear all the connections in Brikama, paved roads, though the operation is not only meant for only paved roads, but we said all roads, but we give priority to paved roads first, and to get rid of the unnecessary traffic built up on our roads. And of course, that's why we found back to KM, and we're still within the KM. We still have a long way to go. A lot of roads are yet to be cleared, but so far so good. And thanks to the Gambian people, the cooperation is very, very high, and now people are very, very used to the operation. Most of the time, when they know that the road that we coming to clear, in advance, you see people volunteering, removing their own illegal structures or obstruction that they built on the road. So that shows the level of cooperation and willingness for Gambian people. When we say change of habit, I believe is ongoing. It started now. People started moving on their own, and knowing what we were used to, that is not in conformity with our laws. In occupying the road corridor in all forms of businesses, that is not the way forward. The way forward is to reorganize ourselves, forget about everything, stop blaming Jim, and come as one people and build this country. And that's what we're getting.
Okay. When was this decision taken to embark on this operation, and who gave the directives?
Well, the decision is the directives or whatsoever is the Gambia government. And it's, this is not the first of its kind. We started this in 2021, sometime in August, and it was launched in Brikama. We started in Brikama, cleared most of the roads in Brikama, and we came through the Batin Hardin from Airport Johnson. Then the project OIC road project was coming, so we prioritized, because then it was full of mechanic garages and derelict vehicles along that Batin Hardin. So for the contract to move faster, you know, that's why we left Brikama, even though Brikama roads in Brikama were not finished, but because of the prioritizing, we started Brikama and Airport Johnson, and we were moving. But the dimension of that one, it cannot be compared to this one, even though it's the same stakeholders involved. And the only stakeholder that's been added there, that is the livestock farmers association or something like that. We all know stray animals are also present on our roads, especially on Baton Hardin. So that's why they were also coopted in because they also serve as a big challenge, obstruction on our road. So basically, it started from 2021, and it was stopped. And now this year we continue, we're moving, but the decision comes from the government.
Decision comes from the government. Control room, we have some B-rolls to show. I mean, as far as this operation is concerned, I hope you will display that for the sake of our viewers as well. Let me now bring in the police PRO. I mean, we have seen, anytime they are on this operation, they are accompanied by armed security men. I wonder, what is their role? Armed and demolition exercise.
Thank you very much. This is a very relevant question, and I know most people would ask themselves as to why we have the police and the military on ground. We need to understand that as far as our laws are concerned, and as far as the traffic is concerned, because the most affected agency or institution in this country is the Gambia Police Force, because Gambia Police Force is mandated by law to be the internal security apparatus that is responsible for the transportation, for our roads, our vehicles on our road. They control the movement of vehicle in and out, meaning there are regulations on our road, and these regulations are being regulated by the Gambia Police Force. To be specific, the mobile traffic. So it is very important, and again also, the incidence of accidents within the country, the congestion, traffic flow, and all that. So that is one aspect. So meaning having to have this road clear would also ease the burden on the Gambia Police Force, and also help in reducing, mitigating the risk of incident on the road. But most importantly, because there are rules, there are regulations, there are laws, there are acts on here. Now we have the NRA Act. We also have the Physical Planning Act. We have the traffic regulations and all that. And the Gambia Police Force is mandated by law to be the institute to enforce this law. So what would happen is, if we have the national authority, all the stakeholders on the ground to ensure that the roads are clear. So if we have any resistance, they don't have the capacity to enforce those laws, because they are not trained to do that. But the Gambia Police Force being trained to be able to enforce the law, and also to be able to ensure that all the regulations around which the stakeholders are taking place, to ensure that it is actively taking place. So as a result, this is why we have the Gambia Police Force. But also we have the military. And the question would come, why having the military with guns all around? Because we have to understand that in the military, the Gambia National Army, we have a component called National Guard. The National Guard is a component, or is a unit or whatever within the Gambia Armed Forces, which also has what we call police powers. Meaning, in the event that internal security needs support from the military, they are by law, they have powers to also get into our internal security matters and also help. So when the need for human resource, because this requires a lot of financial resources, human resources, and a lot of logistics. So having to have them equally to help support, because you would see, mostly you see the PIU who are involved in this. We call it the Police Intervention Unit. That's the enforcement part of the Gambia Police Force. We also see the mobile traffic. You understand? But not only that, we also have what we call the intelligence branch of this country. We also have the state intelligence services. We also have our other areas. So not only that, we also have the BCC security personnel with us. We have the KMCs. Of recent, I'm not sure of Brikama Area Council, but hopefully
they're all part of it.
They are part of it. So this is how it started. So this is why we have them there. So that's the composition of the task force. But as far as the security is concerned, the purpose of the security within the task force is to ensure that the laws, the regulations are enforced. Mani and the team, physical panel, will tell us this person needs to remove this thing. Okay. So whenever that person fails to do that, then this is where the police come into play, because the police have the power to arrest and effect arrest. So that is one. And also, also very important part of this operation is what we call the monitoring and arresting team. That we'll get into in detail, I guess, in due course. The police are responsible to ensure that any place that is cleared, that people don't come back. If you are found within that premises again, what will happen is officers will have to arrest you because you are told to move from the environment. What actually happened is we understand that most of these people are illegally occupying this space. Now, regardless of the fact how they did organize or occupy that place, that's a different story. Okay. But the fact that they illegally occupy these places, and for the task force came up with a proposition, meaning they illegally occupied this place. But the first goal is to inform them, to tell them, to enlighten them, for them to understand that they're supposed not to be here in the first place. They are here. Now the operation is in place to ensure that anybody who illegally occupies place, encroachment or erection of, we are going to remove them. So in the initial go, Mane and the team would explain to them what is happening and why we are doing this, and we ask them to leave. And with that, we are not arresting anybody, we are not prosecuting anybody, we are just asking people to remove their things voluntarily. If they cannot, for one reason or the other, we help out in doing that, okay? Yes, there are instances where we actually have to just provoke the environment so that you can at least complete it, because we don't have the time to actually remove all what is happening on the ground. So this will happen the first go. Then we'll be given there are certain people will be given a day, 2 days, depending on decide, because man is on the ground, he will look at what is happening. He will be able to determine whether this has to be removed immediately. Others will say immediately, now. Others will say, okay, within 24 hours. Others will say, okay, within 1 week, depending on the structure and the area itself. So after 1 week or a day or so, when the team comes back, in those places where demolition have left for over 2-3 days or 1 week, and you are still found, there are 2 possibilities. Either you were removed there, like the vendors who would have tables, who would have plates, who would have, who can move physically within a minute, having to have come back there because you understand that the team has gone a bit far and you relocate yourself again, those people will be arrested immediately, because we understand that it's non-compliant to what is happening. That is one. The others are the people who actually are asked to relocate, remove, because they have physical structures. They've been provoked and been given time. The due time is over and they could not leave. Then there is also non-compliance to that. Then we are saying you've been given all the time required for you to move your whatever from this place, but you fail to. So those people equally will be arrested. So this is what the monitoring team will be doing, going around to see all the areas that have been cleared by the demolition team is actually cleared, and people do not come back again to occupy, because one thing is actually demolishing it, removing people on the road. The other thing is maintaining that environment as it's supposed to be.
We'll get into that. Mr. Man, take us through. What are the criteria for the demolition, and is there any exception?
Thank you. The criteria for that is what we call our roadmap, how we are operating. It's important for people to know that we are only interested in the corridor, meaning fence outside. Anything within is referred as the corridor. This how some would say, I'm very far from the road. Okay. The measurement, my premises and where the road is very far. We are not taking measurement in this operation. Remember, we keep saying this. This operations mainly is to promote safety, road safety for that matter. We are promoting and maintaining the safety on our roads. We all know we have a very, very high, what would I call it, not even high population or whatsoever. But the thing is, we are not organized as a country. So if you come to this country newly, before this operation, most of the roads that we cleared, if you go there, you think this country doesn't have laws. You think this country, because people behave anyhow they want. You see somebody with a vehicle and come and park on top of the pavement or on the road and abandon the vehicle and get away with it. Somebody will leave his own premises where your fence line stop, and you start erecting stalls outside your fence. And for you, that is my premises, or this is my compound. We all used to that. You will say, in front of my compound is mine. I can park my car there. I can build any sub there. But that is not yours. Yours is internal. That's why you came with that fence. You know, and erecting that fence, you need a certification for that. You know, people just erect fence, you know, saying that this is my, but it needs to be confirmed. The physical planning, their role is to, they regulate, they're a regulating body of our lands and also physical structures that we will build within the, on these lands. So if you have to develop, you need a certification for it. You cannot just say, this is my compound, and I border with PRO and Aliu, Mr. Cisse, so therefore where a PRO owns stop, that's where I'm going to erect my fence. No, you need a certification for it. It needs to be, it needs to be taken to physical planning. They are the authorities responsible for them to know your limitation of the boundaries of your property. And now, what we are saying on the ground, we spend almost 2 months on the ground operating. Today is the 2 months.
Yeah, 19.
You see? Oh, today is 19.
Yeah.
You see, I'm not even counting this, you know. He is the one who normally helped me with the days, how many days we spend on this operation. For me, it's not even much. Okay, now, the way we are doing is, I said from fence to fence outside. Now, outside that fence, that is the road corridor, you're not allowed to put up any structure, or you're not allowed to do anything outside without the authorization from the state, right? Now, we must also know that we have, he mentioned the Motor Traffic Act, Highway Act. We also have State Land Act. In the State Land Act, our alignment, compound alignment, is by blocks. By blocks, I mean, this is Mr. Cisse, this is your property, this is my property, PRO. It depends. If you have about 3, 4, 5 property before an intersection, Johnson, then you have a Johnson, that's where your block lining is, meaning all should be in one line. When we have about 2, 3, 4, up to 10, you have another Johnson. From Johnson to Johnson is called block lining. But, so those people should be in line.
But whereas, you know, you don't do any measurement like you said, I mean, do you just assume that Mr. X is encroaching, or do you ask for a certificate or document to substantiate that that individual is encroaching or is illegally settling on the particular
You know,
place?
most of this encroachment that we are seeing, you can easily tell. Physical planning are the expert on the ground. They advise that whether this block is compound is out or in. Now, you can easily see people, the new development that they attach. Because when we are on the ground, you will see somebody has an original fence already, and now you attach something out of it. Projection. When you project, obviously, you know, we're not having issues with compound owners on this projection, because the moment with the physical plan is there, and he will tell us this is the original and this one is an attachment. When you call the compound owner, that's why we are on the ground all the time. When we get to any property, we'll say, can we have who is responsible here? And the person will come out. We'll tell him what we're doing over there. We will tell him that the physical planning said this is an adjustment. So if you argue that this is your original, then that's where we ask for your title deeds. And your title deeds, the sketch plan will be there, and it will tell your dimension whether you've encroached it or not. So we have measures how to get to whether you've encroached or you do not encroach. Physical planning, they're the expert on that. If that one is verified, now we work on the fence to fence, which we remember, our highways, most of our highways are 40 meters from the middle of the road. If this operation, we start implementing that, a lot of houses will go. But what we are saying, free up the road corridor that we have, right? Your fence to fence, don't attach anything, no attachment. We are only against illegal encroachment and attachment. You know, we are not following whether this is my original or whatsoever. Yes, your land, we are not there to question how you get your land. All what we are doing is to free up the road corridor, making sure we have a safer roads, because we cannot build good roads. And if the roads are built and they're not safe to apply it on, meaning the obstructions are there, or you have these projections, you know, then our roads cannot be termed as safe. And the vehicle that we use, you know, can also not be safe. If they are not safe, the road users are not safe. So basically what we are doing is we are clearing up our road corridor, and that we are totally discouraging people to attach any structure on their original perimeters or their fence line or even the property. Some would build story buildings, some would build buildings, and you building that on along the roadside, the purpose is for business center. Now, if you built it on your fence line, if you built a structure on your fence line, and those subs, people occupying that, they need to be coming with their vehicle, you did not improvise any space for parking. So if you fan back a little bit, meaning that the distance that you live in from your fence line, because this is a business center, whoever comes can easily get into that one. If they do, those cars that will be parked in front of these shops will not be on the public roads. But if you build on the fence line, and anybody even who comes for sale as a customer park on the road, the moment you abandon your car, and that is a crime.
But in terms of, I mean, the pre-enforcement preparations, was there any adequate notice given to people to relocate or move those structures?
Yes.
Pierre, I'll come to you in terms of the arrest and all
Yes.
those things. Yes.
Yes. Government issued a press release, a press release that serve as a notice for all illegal structures and encroachments. Remember, we have an institution that gives out certificates or permits for most of these stalls on our road corridor. Physical planning gives certificate, temporary certificate, annually renewal. All council, they do. So whereas you were given a certificate, the communication to you would be the same certification from where you obtained them. But if you just went on our corridor and do any illegal structure without obtaining any official certification, the notice serve, that press release serve as a notice to you, because it's an illegal one. You don't expect anybody to write to you, because while you were obtaining it, you did not ask for any certification. So this is the difference.
I'll come back to you. Let me bring in the PRO here. Earlier on you said, I mean, arrests were made. What happens next?
Yes, just before I answer that, because the sensitization part is very relevant. It's very important that you ask Mani, because I am part of the team responsible as far as the task force is concerned. All communications, Mani and I came here to QTV, and I've been to GRTS, I've been to other media houses, and also the press release, not only one, the press release up to 2 to 3 in August, in September, press releases were made. But what actually happened in this country, especially in September, we had our 2 police officers who were murdered. You know, so because of that, I think the entire country kind of had the focus had changed at the time. That was when this was actually going on. So I know people have been saying I am not informed as a person. It's not upon the government to individually inform every person, but government has procedures and they have regulations as to this is why it was gazetted, this is why it was press release was done, it was sent to all media houses, and it was translated into the major language. But others will tell me I'm in the market, I don't have time for that, I'm in my business, I don't have time to listen. But again, it's been 2 months. Like today, having to have this opportunity to be here, exact 2 months. You know how it's confidential, but it's relevant. The fact that we are 2 months into operation, and people are still telling us, I am not aware, I was not informed. It's not our responsibility. It's not our responsibility individually. We can't even do that, can we? This is our entire country we're talking about. This is why what the government can do is what government had done. That is to publish it for everybody. So you have your brother, you have your father, you have anybody who is into business, what kind of business can be informed. This is what the government is doing in a month time. This is why a month notice was given. So nobody has, I believe, it's my belief that nobody has an excuse to call the fact that because I'm not personally informed, so therefore whatever they are doing is inappropriate. That is one. Mane talked about the fact that these people are illegally occupying spaces, and the fact that when they actually were doing that, because people tell us at the end of the day, you are removing us here, You understand? Are you going to compensate us and all that? These are questions coming to us. Are you going to compensate us? But come on, you illegally occupy this place. Why this has happened, why this is relevant is that we are part of the task force and our teams are going on arresting. You talked about arresting. The first week of the arresting, mostly what we did was more of a negotiation, more of using that opportunity to sensitize people, for people to understand that we are really serious about what we are doing. Yes, there have been operations, and people will tell us, you journalists will always call to our attention, the Gambia Police Force, you are always into operation and all that. And even this operation, can you imagine? They will say the Gambia Police Force. Police have demolished this. Police haven't demolished anything. Police is here to ensure that the regulations are followed, because there is a task force that is given a mandate to ensure that the roads are clear, and the police are here to ensure that that is actually done. So in essence, we are providing the security, we are providing to ensure that those people comply. This is what is happening. So the first 2 weeks, more or less, we started at Stink Corner. And Stink Corner, one of the reasons why we started at Stink Corner, we understand it's more of an industrial area, more of shops are there. There are limited habitation in terms of human. Where we start from Stink Corner coming, we had garages around there, and we have big shops. And the issue with that, like he said, you would realize these are shops for spare parts and related matters, motor vehicle related matters. But what would happen is most of these people have changed that, converted it, or they are using a dual function. It's a store, but at the same time, it's a garage for repair. And that was not the purpose at the time of getting that place. So what happened is we did tell them.
Okay, thank you very much, Modi Musa Sisa, who is the acting police PRO, and Bakari Mane of the National Roads Authority, our guests on the program this week. I mean, we'll go with a short break, and when we return, discussion continues. Do stay tuned.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. "5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket.
Amazing.
With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected, juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Hello viewers, welcome back from that short break. You are watching QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station, and we're broadcasting from our studios here on Kairaba Avenue. My name is Alusisa, your host for your regular State of Affairs program here on QTV. Our guest this week, I have Bakari Mane, road safety engineer from the National Roads Authority, and Modu Musa Sisao, who is the acting police PRO. Gentlemen, welcome back to the program. Mr. Mane, let me come back to you. You talk about illegal settlement, encouragement, and all those things. Where was the NRA and physical planning when all this thing was happening?
Well, we are all here.
Doing what?
Including me and you.
Doing what, Mr. Mane? Doing what?
Doing our work.
Receiving your salaries and just allowing people to settle illegally, while you pass by every day seeing them settling and you don't tell them anything? Until after 5 years, 10 years, you come and say, you are illegally.
You see, this is the beauty of the government coming as one body to work. And it takes a country. Every country has a story. We all have, every country. Every single country that you've seen as developed, they all have a story. Gambia also have a story, what you are saying. This thing has been happening. First Republic came and go. Nobody did this. Nobody. And these things were happening since the First Republic. People were selling on our roads. People people put stalls on our roads. People park their cars on our roads. We do everything. First Republic, Second Republic came, the same thing. Pass and go. Nobody cleared this. This is the Third Republic. And if this Third Republic came and said, our laws must be applied. These laws are not written today. They were not written since or the Second Republic or so. These are laws. That's why I said a country, if you visit any country and you found the citizens or the people in that country behaving like we were doing before, it's difficult, and it will be what we call insecurity. This is insecurity. Because
will you agree that NRA and physical planning are part of the whole problem? You are part of those who actually created this problem.
If I never want the blame game, when we continue...
No, but we have to accept, in as much as we are trying to blame people for illegally settling on the roads, we must also accept that the NRA and the physical planning have also failed in their responsibilities.
I'm coming. NRA, physical planning, police, councils, central government, individual, Aliu, you and me, we all fail. Let's blame ourselves, everybody within this country, because we all know the government, NRA failed what they're supposed to do 100 years ago, right? Physical planning, the same 100 years ago, right? Police, the same, central government, individual compound owners. You know, between you and your God, you know this is where my premises stop. Outside, PRO is coming, Aliu, you coming, I need a stall at your door. You giving that space outside, you know, everybody, that's for everyone, because the road belongs to everybody. Collecting money from these poor people, poor vendors, and you call that your place, using that to feed your family. We call ourselves good Muslim, good Christians. We need to go back to the drawing board and ask for forgiveness. Because what is happening in this country, we went to somewhere, we found a full mosque, right, operating. And the people who govern this mosque, we call the mosque committee. We're moving people on the road. They're at the edge of the road, moving people on the road. They're selling. And not knowing that the people that we are moving, they were paying rents to this mosque committee outside on the road, because they said that is in front of their road. These are elderly people. All right? So that's why I said everybody is to be blamed. The beauty about this operation is government is coming to say, hey, we forgot we are to be blamed, everybody. The government, everybody, we are all at fault. Now let's come and develop this country. We cannot develop this country without applying our laws. We have beautiful laws that governs any activity on the ground, on the road corridor.
So it means the development here is about moving people
forward,
who use those sidewalk or whatsoever to make living away from where the source of living. Is that what you call development?
Say again.
Sending away those women who sells on the road.
You know, before you go out to look for money, first we must save life first. Lives are very important. Life first before any other thing. Okay. If we're not living, we'll not be here. I'll not be leading this operation. You will not come here. So let's save life first. I said road safety. Our roads need to be safe. If our roads are not safe, my friend, the roads that we have will continue being a death trap for our citizens. And that's not the purpose of the road. If that's the purpose, nobody would build the roads. Okay. So we are saving our roads. Let's consider.
Let me bring in Piero here. You have made several arrests during the operations.
Yes.
Has there been any prosecution?
Yes, there have been prosecutions. Like I was saying before the break, we had people arrested, actually, and the first two weeks of the arrest was just to notify people, actually, to use the opportunity still to sensitize the people, for them to understand, because we knew they were there illegally, as far as the laws are concerned. You understand? I think you are on money about this.
But you're saying illegally, and most of these people are paying their taxes to the councils.
That's
why didn't you allow the councils to enforce this law and to move them to somewhere else? Okay. Or are you even engaging the councils on this matter?
Yes. Well, this task force, let me come there first.
Yes, Piero.
So what we are doing, like as far as the task force is concerned, this is why it is important the Gambia Police Force is a part of this, because the Gambia Police Force is the body that is responsible. One key mandate of the Gambia Police Force is the safe life and property, and he talked about road safety, which is very paramount in this for the function of the Gambia Police Force. That's why we have the mobile traffic. And the fact that we have our roads are in such a way, if we want to bring in the justification as to why this is happening, we could still go a long way to bring it up, because we do understand that the way our roads are, the way our communication system is as a government, as a country, if we are serious about developing this country, our development aspiration for this country, most importantly, the communication system, that is the transportation system of this country, has to be looked at. Look at the number of people who are affected in terms of even public service, private service of this country. If you are to move Aliusise from Brikama to Banjul to go to a police station or police headquarters or to go to even Quadrangle to get a document, you will need to wake up as early as 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock to get to work or to get to do that. And before you go, unless if you know somebody there like me, you would call me. See how tomorrow I'm coming to the police headquarters, I need this document. So that before you come, it is prepared or something like that. But how many people have the privilege to do that? They would go there. Before they reach, it's already 2 hours into the building, into the time. It's 10 o'clock, they are there. The person maybe, some of them are not even in office at that time. When they come, our Gambian system, the way things are working. This is why this country, we have to be serious because we are the people who can develop this country. It's us, especially us, the youths, the young ones who are coming up in every sphere of this country, not only government, but every aspect of it. One key area is the communication system and the transportation system. Our people have been transported through ambulances to get from Brikama. Can you imagine? Mane was in Brikama. Brikama from the hospital is been accused that we went into their market. The road to the hospital itself is blocked. For ambulance to get from there, going to Banjul to transfer somebody, it takes the ambulance how many minutes? Where you just be there within seconds, you are off. But it will beep, everywhere is occupied because people are on the road. The road is meant for transportation, for communication, not to selling point. Yes, this has happened. It has been here for long. I think what is important is what had happened, but what is the way forward? How can we develop this country? How can we give? Because our development aspirations are such that now is the time. And I'm a firm believer, I always say, Mani, I'm a firm believer in the fact that this country will develop and has to develop. And the only way is to go back to the drawing board. And that is what is happening right now. So what is important now, as far as I am concerned, what is important now, as far as the tax is concerned, what is the way forward? How do we accomplish this? And how do we maintain this? And I think that is key, as far as this program is concerned, for all viewers, for everybody in this country, all players, because we are all players here. Because we have the police, we have National Road Authority, we have the government, the council, we have vendors, women out there, we have civil service, we have everybody. You, I, and anybody, every one of us, we use these roads. Either we are going to work, we are going to the market, we are going to funeral, we are going to Ngente, everything has to do with this. So if you could imagine the time it takes from Westfield Junction to Sukuta Junction, it takes you over 1 hour, 2 hours, where you should within 15 to 20 minutes you are done. When people are closing from work, instead of closing by 4, others would be at work until 6. So that the traffic blockage, the congestion has reduced. And this operation is only meant to ease that, in addition to maintaining our road corridor. One, what can be achieved? Safety. What can be achieved? Hygiene. What can be achieved? Decency. What can be achieved? Our environment. Look how dirty our streets are. How our country by extension. Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of issues here. Let's look at the larger picture here. I know people will be there to blame, the blame game, because 2 months ago, that wouldn't solve anything. What would solve anything now is, what is the way forward? How do we accomplish this? And how do we maintain what we've started? The good work that we started, you and other Gambians are saying thank you to the tax force. Thank you to the Gambian government.
And Mr. Mane, is it something that you enjoy when you go and demolish people's structures? Do you enjoy it? How do you feel?
Well, Ali,
do you feel happy that everyone is saying, oh, nyancho, and then you feel,
Ali,
yes?
I am a Gambian, and I'm born and brought up in this country.
Okay.
I only leave this country when it's necessary and come back. And the society that I came from is typical Gambian society. Born and brought up, seeing people the way we are, in moms and sisters or dads on the road selling, bringing something on the table. You see, that's why some people, they keep saying, I keep hearing this.
And I just hope control room will show some of the images of this exercise. It's important.
Some of the thing that they will be telling me, Mr. Mane will come to your place and he will explain, but he will not look into your eyes. Where he will finish, he will give it back. Of course, I am a human being. I have a blood inside me. And those people, if I had to stand, Aliu, come to your place, you've been there for ages. God knows when you came there. And that's the only place that you have. We come in there to tell you, you're moving today. And you expect me to explain it to you, that what you're doing, where you're occupying, everything that is wrong and so. And you think I will look into your eyes? I will not look into your eyes. Because if I had to look into your eyes, Aliu, I will not be working. I will not work. Because I will feel the pain and will be crying. And that will deter me from doing
what
my work.
happened after demolishing those structures? Do you have option B where you have to relocate these people? Or you just demolish and say, bye-bye?
Well, remember, this is a task force formed by the government, central government. And our role is to clear up the road corridor. That is phase 1. To clear up, move everybody, all structures away from the corridor. Now, the government even started by relocating people at the market. Expanding markets.
Which market?
One is Brusubi. We know there's a market at Brusubi phase 2.
Okay.
It was built more than 10 years ago. It has never been used. There are a lot of stories surrounding that one. And when we went to Brusubi, moving people, I used the Sukuta Brusubi to round turntable. That's the flyover now. I used that one clearing. When I got to the car park, I clear everybody within the turntable. Then I got to the car park. You know where the Brikama car park is? I went there. There were stalls and houses. People were accommodated there. Lodges were there. So I went in there to clear up everybody, to tell them, everybody, you were leaving, you're moving out from here. There's a market behind there, Brusubi phase 2, that has never been used. Everyone is going there. This one will be catering for vehicles. We have a lot of pocket garages around, and this is a place that will be accommodating the vehicle. Now you cannot be here because this is meant for garage. Now you'll be going to Brusubi phase 2. The Gambia government came and they engaged the Federation, Women's Federation, because that market is under them, right? And they engaged them. They went there, they have a good discussion. Now, this past Saturday, the Gambia government organizes a massive cleansing exercise. All the sister service securities were there to clean up the area completely, right?
Couldn't you have started with that? Moving them first and do your demolition?
Alu, our demolition or moving, like PRO is saying, we are moving forward. We are not going back. It is not right. It is not with our laws. It is not in conformity with our laws, what people are practicing in this country. We need to be serious. One needs to take that bold decision, and that's what the government did. What we are doing wrong is wrong. Let's move up the round first. Then we'll come to develop this country, how we should move. People must know the way we are squatter on our road corridor. It is not in conformity with our laws. We must sensitize people. We must make people to understand what we are doing is wrong before we can actually move this country. It takes a country to this hard before development. Development comes with a price.
Piero, how many people have been prosecuted?
Actually, at this moment, I can't give you a specific number, but in the first month of the operation, we had about 28, the first batch, 28 that we are taking to court. Okay. Out of the 28, 17 were prosecuted. Sorry, 28 were prosecuted. Out of that, 17 were fined. The rest of them were released. They were released and they were advised not to do that again. Okay. And the second batch, when we went to Brikama around end, more than 50 person or individual were equally arrested, and we used that opportunity to talk to them, for them to understand what is happening, because it's important that at least we start with that, because that was our first week, and all of them were released. As we speak now, we have no less than 100 persons who've been arrested, currently reporting on bail from the Wellingaras, from the Sukuta, from Brusubi, around that. All those people are arrested. Now they are reporting to the police station. We are currently working with prosecutors around those stations who would actually prosecute them. And what was happening is that we were actually trying to make them understand that what they are doing is not correct. In non-compliance, this is what we are charging them with. But we realize that most of the charges that we are coming forth, I think because of that, most people are taking us seriously. So, and we never wanted to resort to what we call criminal charges, because these people were struggling and they were there selling and all that. But what happened is, after having been told, having been removed for over a month, people are still coming back. You go back to Westfield, Alvihaj Junction, under that mango tree is the same. Opposite Banyo Pharmacy is the same. Those are critical junctions. These are main junctions within the country.
But then to survive, that's their source of living, Mr. Piero.
But do you mean you need to get your social or survival by illegal means? In this sense, that's what you are trying to justify. What we are trying to say is this. The KMC came here. KMC came and told us, in this tax, so they are part of us. They came and told us that inside market there is space. Most of the women, they are not occupying that space. Women, what they said is that most of those places, instead of being shops, they are stores. That is one. They say there are spaces for them. Currently, we are seeing what BCC is doing, Brikama Area Council is doing for their people. You understand? Currently, he told you last week the Bruce Wilby market is being opened. What we are trying to say is this. Look at the First Alley, that junction, Westfield, First Alley, where you have after the electronic shop, I can't remember the name, okay? Just after the junction, you would realize that vehicles will be packed because that place is very popular, people will come. We will be so packed on the road. You would see the whole lineup, vehicles are packed. How many vehicles are turning there from Brikama to Cooperative? You have from Kairaba Avenue to Cooperative. And how about going in and out? So these are critical junctions. This is why all these junctions, we are making sure that vehicles don't park there, especially people who are working there. What will happen is, if you have your customer, the moment you go park 5 cars, then your customer would now be on the road. So we are encouraging people not to do that.
Nyancho, let me bring you back here. I mean, so many people are asking questions. The last time I saw you trying to address the issue when you come on Kairaba Avenue, the U.S. Embassy issue, people are asking questions. I just want to use this opportunity to ask you the same questions. I mean, are they exempted? And if yes, why? Just for you to clarify this thing. Because some people are asking this question.
Yes.
Aside from that, rule for one is rule for all.
All right.
On the MDI road, you demolish most of the structures around the university going towards GRTS. But why do you leave the space at the Ministry of Works? Why do you demolish that car parking? Why?
Thank you, Aliu. I will start with the Kairaba Avenue.
Yes.
We are task force. Our mandate is to clean up the road corridor. And any road that we saying ourselves we'll clean up that area, anywhere we go to. Kairaba Avenue, we are yet to go to Kairaba Avenue. But when we get to Kairaba Avenue, anything that is within our mandate will clean up. The U.S. Embassy you were talking about, let's understand that embassies have what we call immunities. We have our local laws. Remember, we said we are operating within the laws of Gambia and internationally, because Gambia is not an island. Any country.
And if you can summarize it, because we're running out of time.
Any country that you go to, embassies are treated specially. But the Gambia government is on top of that. There are protocols to follow, and making sure if they are to be removed, the Gambia government will communicate to say they will be removed. If they are not to be removed because of those immunities, they will equally tell us they are not to be removed. But our work on the ground is to clear on the ground. The MDI road, we did not get to the Minister of, we did not get to that road. You know what I was saying? I said,
no, but I do go to the university every day. There were stall shops at the entrance of the law faculty. You came and demolished all those shops.
Did not come there. My team never come there.
Who came there?
They are themselves, the owners. I told you when we are starting, I said, cooperation is very high. Even whereas we did not reach, people are removing on their own.
Are you going to demolish the one at the Ministry of Works, your car park? On the highway.
If it is an encroachment, we'll demolish.
So for you, as you speak, it's not encouragement?
When we get there, if it serves as an illegal structures and projection into the road corridor, everything will be cleaned up.
But from your observation right now, you work there.
I don't work there.
Yes,
my offices are
exactly. But from your observation right now, do you think
if it is an encroachment, a projection into the road corridor from their fence line, you tell me whether it's from their fence line. Yes. If it is from their fence line, of course it will go.
It will go.
Oh, yes. Okay. We demolish police station. They are government properties. We demolish government properties. Minister of Works doesn't belong to an individual. And it's a government institution.
And even the Speaker of the Parliament.
We went there. Yeah. We'll demolish. If we can demolish, government structure, it's the same government structure. It's not an individual structure. So nobody will come from the ministry to tell us that you will not demolish it, because it's not owned by him. It's owned by the government. He did not put it there. If he put it there, it's the government who put it there.
So finally, when will the operations end?
Because we don't even know. We're still in Combo, and this is countrywide. Here, even the roads in Bakawa and Kanifi, we did not get there. You're talking about Kairaba Avenue. We did not get there. We only finished the Kololi, Kotu, and Manjai. Even Sanyan, the coastal belt, we did not get there. So we don't even know. We cannot tell you when this thing is ending. It's still moving.
Thank you so much, Bakari Mane, road safety engineer with the National Roads Authority. And of course, Modu Musa Sisao, acting police bearer. Thank you so much for coming on the State of Affairs program. I quite appreciate your time. And for me, I must admit, this has been one of the most serious operations I have seen under the Barrow's administration since 2017. And thank you so much for coming. Well, viewers, with that, we bring an end to this week's edition of your weekly State of Affairs program. I was your host, Alu Sisi. Do join us next week. Until then, On behalf of everyone here at QTV, we thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.